It's been a while since I've done a vlog. As you can see, I just escaped from prison, and that's the reason why I haven't done any vlogs lately. But seriously, I've just been too busy, and I'm going to try to make a lot of new vlogs this summer and also some other content for my channel, so stay tuned. I thought I wanted to show you guys how I edit and color grade my videos. That's the thing that I've been asked to do. A lot of people ask me on my channel how I edit and how I color grade my videos. If you're not familiar with the term color grading, it's basically how the colors and how you make the video look. I can show you a bit more about that when I start. So here is the timeline of a demo I did. It's the Spruce Effects Salt Water Fuzz, and I'm using Final Cut 10. Let's see what version I'm running. It's 10.2.3, so it's probably the latest one when I'm recording this video. And as you can see, I'm already done with this video, and this is the whole timeline of that video. I shoot with two cameras at the same time. I have this angle, which is a Sony A7S II camera. That's my main camera. And I have a secondary angle, and that's my Nikon D7100. And I use that to film the pedal. When you do pedal demos, it's probably the most important angle to have to film the pedal. People want to see what changes you do to the pedal when you demo it. So the other one, this one is just for aesthetics and looks. I think it's a nice variation to have when you look at the demo, to see how the player is playing when he's or she is going through the demo. And here's the audio. I record with my amp into a Torpedo Live, and then I go directly into my sound card. That's an RME Babyface, and I don't do any plugins except I do some limiting on the output when I bounce the track. No plugins other than that, no EQing or anything. And then when I bring that into Final Cut, I bring all three of them on top on each other and I synchronize them. And from that I go through everything and I remove the parts that I don't want to be there, if I play any mistakes or if I just simply want to remove a part of the demo. And I add some text. I usually do the intros like this zoom in on a pedal, and then the text comes on top of it. And after that I usually have this intro song, and I show some pictures of the pedal, and you can also see that I have a couple of transitions here, like these film burn effects. And then I have the slide in like that. And that is done by using keyframes. This is a compound clip which contains the black frame. You can't really see it, but it's here, the black line, and the footage here. And I use the position transform, and I use this right here to get the footage sliding into the frame. And I also think I do it out of the frame here. and after the intro I go into the demo itself. Add some text to show what guitar I'm playing, and also just a quick view of the amp and the Torpedo Live so people can see what I'm recording through. Yeah, and when I film these videos, I usually record with a picture profile which is very flat, and I can show you how it looks before I add any color correction or color grading on top of it. And it looks like this. So it's very flat, almost no contrast, no saturation, and no sharpening. It's almost black and white sometimes. It's really nothing to look at. But when you do that, you can bring back the contrast and saturation and sharpening in Final Cut, and you get a much nicer looking image, in my opinion, and many others. So often when you shoot with a normal picture profile on camera, DSLR, you can get too much contrast, and it looks very cheap often. I always try to get this kind of vintage film look on my videos, so I want to do all of the color grading and all of the contrast and saturation stuff after I'm done filming. So when I bring it in and I've done all the editing or the cuts and stuff, I usually start to add effects or color grading, and I can take you through everything that I do. At first I add this plugin called FilmConvert Pro, and what that plugin does, it brings back the contrast. You can see here the curve slider is the contrast. You can add grain, you can add saturation, and you can also add certain film stocks, and that's the reason why I use this. You can choose between different film stocks. I usually go with this one, the KDP 400 something Porter probably, and it gives this kind of vintage film look that I really like. I tend to maybe give it a bit more contrast than you would normally see in a vintage type film, so it's kind of like a mix of an old look and a modern look. So that's when the FilmConvert plugin is added in to the mix. And I also use the Color Finale plugin, and this is the plugin that I use to do even more color correcting or color grading. If we press Command 7, we can get this RGB parade, and you use this one to check if your white balance is correct, and you use it to see how the colors are in your video. And you can see I have some different stuff here. Here's some curves that I used. I've done some slight adjustments to remove some of the greens from this particular photo or this particular footage. So if I take away that, you can see that the green on the parade goes up a bit or down if I add it back in. And you also have the classic color wheels if you want to use that. And maybe most importantly, I'm using this LUT utility. And LUTs, I'm not sure if I'm able to explain it how they work or how they're made, but they are basically more advanced filters, maybe like you would see in Instagram and stuff. So after I've used the FilmConvert plugin, I still want some more things to happen with my photos, with my footage color-wise. So I add this LUT that I really like. It's called the M31 LUT, and you really need to be careful when you're using LUTs, because they are often very strong when you use them. If you use them like 100%, it looks like this, so it's almost too much of everything, too much saturation and contrast, and the colors are just too strong. So I usually bring it down to around 50%, maybe 40 or 50. And then we are getting really close to what I want. I also add some sharpening. There are probably better sharpen plugins for Final Cut or Premiere Pro or whatever you use, but I just use one built into Final Cut. And I also add some vignetting. You can see this vignetting going on the footage. It's to kind of bring the focus more to the center of the footage, in this case me or the pedal. And when you have added all of this stuff and tweaked, sometimes you have to tweak the color wheels a lot more. You might have footage that is way too blue, or there might be way too much reds in your footage, so you need to find a good balance so your white balance looks okay. Let's see if we can get it back to normal. There we go. And even if you're adding LUTs and doing a lot of stuff, you need to look at the scopes and RGB parades to see if your white balance is good, because it's really important to have that locked down. And I also add some grain to my footage. You can do that in the FilmConvert Pro plugin. I have it around 40, and on these intro clips I usually have it a bit more. Yeah, I have it on 100 on this one to kind of separate it a bit from the other footage. Looks cool and grainy and very filmy looking, if that's the word. Yeah, and sometimes I add some text during the video, maybe some arrows to show some stuff, because I usually don't do any talking in my videos. And at the end I have some text again to just kind of brand my videos. So that's basically it, guys. It's Final Cut is quite easy to learn. You need to spend some time with it, of course, and color grading and color correcting is kind of complicated. I've spent a lot of time to get to this point, and I still want to get a lot better at it. So you need to do a lot of training when it comes to stuff like that. And of course it's really important to have the white balance already good and locked down when you film, so you don't have to correct it that much when you get it into Final Cut or Premiere Pro or whatever software you're using. It makes the job a lot easier. And then you just have to experiment a lot with pulling sliders and using the color wheels and finding LUTs that you like. I've probably spent way too much money on buying a lot of LUTs, and I usually use maybe 2 of them. And you kind of have to go through that process to see what you really like. Yeah, and after that I just export the footage and it's uploaded to YouTube. And that is it, guys. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Post some, if you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments section and I will try to answer them as soon as I can. Bye.